It's the month of October, which means you're probably getting spooked everywhere you go on the internet. The dead meme of Harambe is temporarily rising from his grave to give you some super spooks. Anyway, there have been countless cartoon specials involving Halloween. I'll be counting down the top 5 cartoon Halloween specials, and keep in mind all of these have been released in the past 20 years or so. Remember that this list is my opinion, so if you disagree with it, then just comment below and let me know your own list. With that disclaimer out of the way, let's begin my ranking of the most spooktacular and amazing Halloween specials that cartoons have offered us over the years. Number 5 is the 2002 episode of Fairly OddParents, Scary Godparents. Basically, it's where Timmy makes a wish for everything to be real and scary instead of the usual dumb costumes that people wear. It's memorable and really nostalgic, especially if you were growing up during this time period. There are a lot of characters that return later on in the show, such as the Pumpkin Robots and Crimson Chin. But one great part about this episode is the song, and while that isn't the deciding factor to make an episode good, it's still really memorable. If you watched this when you were really young, you could easily sing along to the catchy song Real and Scary once you started to listen to it. That's why I chose this as number 5 on this list. It's nostalgic, the song is catchy, the plot is interesting, but it's not as good as the other specials that you're about to hear about. Number 4 on my list is regular show's series Terror Tales of the Park. Now if you haven't seen these episodes, you should go back and watch them all. There are a few different stories in each one, all really scary stuff. Now this is a Cartoon Network show, so there isn't much they can get away with, but then again it is regular show and there have been some good adult jokes on it. Anyway, some of the stories in Terror Tales of the Park are actually scary, and all of them are entertaining enough to watch again. Regular show does over-the-top stuff and really weird things, but these Halloween episodes kick it up a notch by adding in the element of fear. I would choose a specific one, but that's really hard, so I'm just putting the entire series as one spot on this list. There are 5 or 6 of them, so be sure to watch if you haven't already. They aren't incredible, but good enough to be on my list. The top 3 specials coming up are really good in my opinion. Now, chances are most of you have watched and loved the next episode on this list. Number 3 is the 1999 episode of SpongeBob, Scaredy Pants. If you have never seen it, then I'd be really surprised. When cartoon Halloween specials pop up in my head, this episode is one of the first ones to appear. One reason for that is because the episode is a good mix between funny, spooky, and clever. SpongeBob wants to become a ghost for Halloween, so he gets the help of Patrick and then goes around town scaring people. The plot is fun to follow, and it's all just really nostalgic. I would say the best part of this episode is towards the end, when Patrick is dangling SpongeBob from a rope in the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob again tries to scare everyone in there, but things don't work out. A really creepy part is when the Flying Dutchman takes off SpongeBob's white cloth to reveal only his brain and face. This episode is so good because it's in the first season of the show, and that was part of its golden years, seasons 1 to 3 and the movie. Number 2 on this list is an episode that likely all of you have seen. The 2012 episode of Gravity Falls, Summerween, is one of the best cartoon Halloween specials of all time. Now I may be biased since my whole channel was about this show for several years, but I really do think it's a great addition to the cartoon Halloween specials. First of all, it's unique due to it being in summer. We haven't really had a cartoon try that before since all of them took place in October. And let's not forget the creepy and mysterious villain, the Summerween Trickster. He was legitimately scary for most of the episode, but one thing Gravity Falls does well is combine drama and comedy. In the case of this episode, sure there were creepy moments, but at the same time, there were a lot of funny parts. We found out that the Summerween Trickster was actually just a bunch of candy that people threw out because they didn't like it. Also, Grunkle Stan trying to scare the kids as a B-plot was really funny, and it lessened the scary mood of the episode. Overall, what Summerween did well was perfectly combine scares and laughs, so the audience would feel comfortable watching the show. Making the episode all scary would just be boring and predictable, which is why they took the unique approach of providing a bunch of comedy for us at the same time. Now, number 1 on this list you may not have seen. My personal favorite cartoon Halloween special is Treehouse of Horror 5. Since this is an older one, you likely haven't watched it unless you went back to see all the other old episodes of The Simpsons. This series is very unique, and it's one of the most iconic Halloween specials because it's on a cartoon that has been airing for a very long time. But you might be wondering why, out of all the different Treehouse of Horror episodes, I chose number 5. Well, after this video, I suggest going back and rewatching it. It has 3 interesting stories, one of them being a parody of the movie The Shining. Another is a time travel related story, and it's not too scary but entertaining nonetheless. The last segment involves a nightmare cafeteria where the teachers cook children and feed them to other children for lunch. This episode specifically is very memorable due to the creativity of the stories as well as the creepiness to them. Anyway, that's all for this video. Be sure to comment below and let me know your favorite cartoon Halloween specials of all time. If you liked this video, remember to give a thumbs up as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.